Hello. Hope everyone is doing well. So today, very quick trade, I guess. It lasted 9 minutes. We made 2R. Market has reversed. Can't complain, I would say. And today has a very good lesson for the simple fact that a lot of traders, they would get greedy on the way down. And if the market was to continue tanking, traders would have said, oh my God, you should have held, blah, blah, blah. But in these cases, people will say, oh my God, perfect exit. And I think that is a very, very bad way of, let's say, becoming a trader or judging your decisions as a trader. And the reason I say this is because we always think in hindsight in the times in which we did the wrong thing, right? If we would have tanked, we would have looked in hindsight and thought, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I should have held longer. Yet on these days, we never sit back and think about the fact that if I had not taken profits, that this would have been a losing trade or a break-even trade or whatever it is. It would not have the outcome that it had. And so the entry today was very, very simple, I would say. I was very, very confident in the fact that the market is going to move down. I did a market breakdown for the 90 days to fund it. So for everyone who has saved their seat, and by the way, this is the Telegram that I will be using from now on. I'll be closing all of the other ones that I have. So here I mentioned that it's super, super obvious that we are going to go down. Like, I believed it to be incredibly obvious that we were going to move to the downside for one simple reason, which is if you ignore the daily chart, right? If you ignore the daily chart and you just look at the hourly chart, which is an acceptable chart on NASDAQ, you can see everything is pointing down. The 4 hour is pointing down, the 1 hour is pointing down, the 15-minute was pointing down. Everything was showing bearishness besides the daily chart, which, yes, granted, I can't believe this. TradingView is so trash for this. At the time, the market was down here, so the daily chart was down here. But to me, this is a ticking time bomb for eventually the market to move higher. But I don't want to get too fixated on, oh, I can only enter in longs or I can only enter in shorts, because it wouldn't make me a versatile trader. So I am able to sit back and think, okay, let's really think this through. And one of the things that I did on that market breakdown, which is very important, again, I recommend you guys joining, is the first link in the description. You save your seat, and in the next page, you'll get access to the Telegram. And right here, the market was looking very, very bearish. And if I quickly go back and I show you this on a reversed chart, so if I quickly reverse this, all of you would say, this is looking great. This is looking bullish. All of you would say the 15-minute is looking bullish. All of you would say the 1 hour chart is looking bullish. Let's even go back a little bit further. You would say the 1 hour chart is looking bullish, and it's obvious that we're going towards these targets. So that is why I started the session. And even though I was thinking like a little bit for myself, thinking, okay, do I want to short? Do I not want to short? Do I want to just wait? But then I came to the conclusion, listen, I think the shorts are a very, very high probability trade, like incredibly high probability trade. We manipulated all the way up. So at market open, not only did we move all the way down, but we manipulated all the way up. So let me quickly add this in. So do this. Okay. We have the quick move higher, and then we tank. Once we tank, you can see it on the 1 minute chart that all of this has failed. And so from here onwards, I was already thinking that the market was bearish, but I wanted to see a little bit more confirmation because of the erratic price action, right? Why? Because we could have gone all the way up and then all the way down and then I wanted to see something that was a little bit clearer. So for me, continuation entries. And so the market eventually started to move lower, and it created a fair value gap. And now, before this candle, we had a 15-minute close. So now notice how the 15-minute closes. The 15-minute closes incredibly bearish. And so what is the idea for the next 15-minute candle? The market moves higher, moves lower, and then continues moving to the downside. So do I have to enter now that the 15-minute has closed? No, I wait for the 15-minute to show me where it wants to move higher to, move bearish, and then I'll execute. I'll execute on the second part, on the bearish leg. So I go to the 5-minute and I see, okay, this is the 5-minute low right here. So I would say that the market at maximum goes all the way up there. 1-minute chart. We have a 1-minute fair value gap. So what was I waiting for? Market moving higher, confirming bearish, and then I will enter, right? And so what did we get? Market moved all the way up towards the fair value gap, moved down, confirmed bearish. And at this point, I was like, okay, once we move higher, I will execute. We moved higher. I waited for this candle to close. Candle closes, and eventually the market moves down. And at this point, market comes all the way back up and moves lower. And I said in the Discord, okay, I am about to manage aggressively. As soon as I entered in the short, I said that I was going to manage aggressively. Because for me, shorts, in a sense, they're ticking time bombs of eventually the market is going to move higher. So the question is, where is it going to move higher from? It's like entering in a room where you know that there's a bag with a lot of money, but there's a ticking time bomb in there. And you decide when to go in, when to get out. Eventually, you know it's going to blow up. So what you would do is you would try to minimize the risk as much as possible. You'd get in and get out quickly with as least amount of damage possible, right? So that's why on shorts, I like to manage a little bit more aggressively because I'm expecting a possible pop higher and all of a sudden, I'm not happy. There's trading account damage. Let's call it like that. So the market starts moving lower. I continue. I manage my position. And at this point, 3 minutes after I manage my position, the market absolutely tanks, goes to the 2R. And I see that this happens at 10 a.m. And I'm like, I think this can go a lot lower. And then I catch myself of, well, what if it doesn't? And I just close the trade. Right, especially given and this is something that I tell even my students, like, I don't care. Like, I'm okay with saying, listen, yesterday we took a -1 and we took a -0.3. Like, I am okay with saying that I would rather take a profit and be profitable for the week, continue being profitable for the month, instead of trying to go for a 10R month. I would rather have consistent months than a massive month, because I know that a massive month with that sort of mentality eventually is going to lead to a negative month, and it all averages out, right? So let me quickly show you here on the Discord. I said I just entered on the close after the confirmation bearish, then trying to see if we finally have some bearish order flow follow through. Just like in every short, I will be managing more aggressively. If we move down, I'm moving stops to -0.5. This is what I said here. And then stops move to -0.5 once we moved bearish. We reach next key level. A pullback can tag me out for the reduced loss. Again, every single time that we have a tap of a key level, which in this case was this one, and then was this one. These were the two levels that I had in mind. We can always have this pullback. And if you really think about it, this pullback from low to high was 60 handles. If you just put that here on this 5-minute close, that would have tagged me out for the -0.5. So I'm already trying to expect it so that I don't get caught off guard. Basically, we tap the key level, we go all the way back, right? And then a little bit after, shorts at higher time frame key level because of the ticking time bomb metaphor, which is you always take what you can as fast as possible and leave. And then I said close for 2R. At this point, I was already marking up, like, what if this is a massive trade? I did mark that up. But then I saw, listen, we just swept big lows. Let me quickly show you what it was. We just swept big lows, and even these lows right here, that is the extreme that we tapped, and now we had a massive bullish reaction, right? And that's what I wanted to avoid. Back to the Discord, I said this was a mishappen. where I was literally trying to close the trade on Tradeovate for 2.2, but it wasn't going through. I refresh, and all of a sudden I was still in a trade and 2 contracts long. And I was like, bro, stop. I am not taking a long here. So I had to close that, but it basically led to a 2R. I still think it had legs to run, but again, it's a ticking time bomb. We took our bag and we leave quickly. After a day like yesterday, it does feel good. And this is what I already said in this video, and I think that it is important. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought I thought about being more greedy, but I catch myself. I would be very, very disappointed. Why do I say this? Because many traders think, if I would have done this, I would have made more R. And they always forget to think about the worst case scenario. Like, don't be greedy. If you take 1.5R, don't hope you could have taken 2R, 3R, 4R. Like, we're day traders. We trade daily. Yes, maybe today you didn't take that 4R. Maybe next day. Maybe the next time that the market is going to be incredibly bullish, right? So just don't be greedy. Take your profits. Obviously, like, don't get now emotional too of like, oh, I always have to take my profits. No, it has to be logical, right? We reached the low, we reached the extreme. I wanted to take profits, and that's pretty much what happened. Don't forget, save your spot, get into the Telegram, watch all of the daily market breakdowns that I am releasing and all of the value that I'm giving in there. And if you want to check out the best futures prop firm, then check out Funded Next with code KT. You'll always get the best discount code. Peace.